got something to do. I got this kid, 8 years old. I'm staying with my mama. I thought about when I first started, I was cutting independent records. And they had a little section in St. Louis on Washington Street called Record Roll. And Record Roll had people like Skip Gorman, right Skip Gorman, and John Wise, Hosfetta. They started a distributing company called Pickwick International. That was that grew to be a huge, massive distribution outlet for records back in the day. So I asked Mr. Goldman, I went to see Skip down to Pat Blunder's place. They had a place called Pat's One Stop. And I went to see Mr. Goldman down there to see if I could get a job doing anything. Because I got to take care of this kid, he 8 years old.
Goldman sound like a Jew.
You know, they sound like they were Jews. They was yummer, and they was yummer playing gin rummy every day. And they was die-hard Jews. And I used to eat unleavened bread with them and stuff. But they loved me though. Skip knew me as a kid coming up, so he introduced me to Harold Goldman. Harold Goldman invented something called the rack jobbers. And the rack jobbers was having records in supermarkets and drugstores and stuff. He invented that. They bought him out of business. Wine Stroll and them bought him out of business to Pickwick International and Lieberman's record distributors. And gave him $3 or $4 million and told him that he had to stay out of business, out of the record business. So they would all go back there in Pat Blunder's place, all them old record guys, and play gin rummy. And then I come in the shop one day trying to see if I could do. They told Skip that I was outside, and I was Skip's boy. From a youngster, I mean a real youngster, trying to cut some records back in the early 60s, right? He says to me, he says, listen, I want to introduce you to Hal Goldman. And Mr. Goldman took to me just like a duck to water. He just loved me just right away. And he say, what would you like to do, son? I say, I'd like to promote and cut some records and distribute them and get them out there. Next thing I know, 2 or 3 days later, I get a phone call from Skip saying, come back down there. I went back down there to the office in Record Road. Mr. Goldman bought an office next door to Pat Blunder and named it Middle West Record Distributors and said, here's your office. Just like that. God's good.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Well, what happened to them days? Well,
you know, those days, it's now.
Set the whole chapter on that.
It's now, but it's in a different manner. But anyway, Mr. Goldman says, you do the promotion, you take the records out, you promote them, and Skip distribute them, get them to the stores, get them cross country, and they had a guy named Tony. That's when disco first started. They had Donna Summers, they had a KC Sunshine Band, and groups like that. They was doing Gloria Gaynor. They had groups like that. So I promoted hardcore R&B, and Tony had the disco stuff. He's going to the big white clubs, and I was going to the black clubs over East St. Louis and Collinsville and St. Louis and stuff with my records. But his records were being played in the masses, but my records was selling. And they was getting reorders and reorders on them. So I get a phone call one day, and Skip gets a phone call, and he said, Gene, somebody want to talk to you. I gets on the phone, and it was Joe Robinson, the owner of Sugar Hill Records. But it was no Sugar Hill Records then. There was a company called Turbo, which was once all platinum records. And he said, listen, man.
Y'all pay attention to this.
I got a record for you that we don't know what to do with it. Frankie Crocker won't play it because the record is 15 minutes long. and don't nobody understand the record. and we don't know what to do with it, but we know it's a big record. I said, well, send it to me. He sent it overnight mail. Next day I went to the office, and it was in a brown thing, and it was 3 copies of it, written in pencil writing, red pencil writing on a white label, and it says, "The Rapper's Delight."
Y'all hear this?
I put the record on. I put the record on, and put it on the record player, and it said, "Don't I said, man, that's chic. The first thing I said, before I heard one of Mike say anything, I said, that's chic, man. What are you talking about sending a new record? And then he said, a hip, hop, a hip, don't stop. I said, wait a minute. I said, man, Jockenstein them and Jim Gates them, because we was doing that stuff live on the radio. They done sneaked off to New York and cut a record and left me out of it. I'm upset. I'm upset. But then they say, next on the mic is my man Hank. Come on, Hank, sing this song. I said, he started rapping and said, my Master G, I'm not as tall as the rest of the gang, but that's the rest of the I said, man, Joe said, what you think about the record? Come and said, what's that? I said, Joe, I said, Big Bank Hank. He say, hotel, motel, holiday inn. Yeah.
If your girl start acting up,
then you take her friend.
Take her friend.
Yeah, so anyway, I said, well, listen, Joe, I'm going to take it over to the radio station and see what they say. I like the record, but the record is too long. The record is 15 minutes long, Joe. Ain't nobody going to play no record no 15 minutes, man. You can play 25 records in 15 minutes, and they're playing just this one record. He said, just go and do it and see what they say. I get in my car, I drive over to ESL, WESL, and I see Jim Gates. I said, Gates, I got a record called The Rapper's Delight. He said, man, Dave Clark dropped that record off to me. I ain't never opened it up. I said, man, well, open the record up and play the record. He put it on, and he played it 3 times back. That's 45 minutes.
Damn.
15, that's 45 minutes.
That's it.
He played that record, and before you know it, they had a loudspeaker on the outside of the radio station where you can hear the broadcast as you drive up and stuff. I went outside, and all the kids to the school down the street, all the kids was in the parking lot dancing to The Rapper's Delight. I said, man, I ain't never seen this before. I ain't never seen nothing like this before.
The birth of hip hop.
So anyway, I said, hey, Joe, we got a dilemma with this record. This is the biggest record I ever seen in my life.
Stop. What year is this?
I think it was 70, 69 or 70, something like
70,
that.
okay.
I ain't too really sure, because I ain't
They say hip hop started in 72 or 73, but it's right around there.
Yeah, but this was the first acetate.
There you go.
This wasn't even a record. So Joe said, man, y'all got to send me $2,000, $5,000, something, so I can press the records. I ain't got enough money to even press the record.
And it's already a hit.
It's a phenomenon. That's the first time it ever been played.
Pressed up.
No, that's the first time it ever been played on the radio in life, ever. That day that I took it over there. At any radio station on the world. So, before I could even get off the phone, the people from the record shop was coming in trying to buy the record. So we loaned Joe $10,000 to press the first 10,000 copies of The Rapper's Delight. He sent them down there. It was on a red label. Said Rapper's Delight. They didn't have no name for the group. They didn't have no name for it. They named it the Sugar Hill Gang. And on Sugar Hill Records.
Okay.
And then people was buying the records and was selling them out the cars. Out the trunk of their car. That's why they got the statement, selling records out the trunk of your car. Came from that. And then it was a long time that. Then he sent me another record. He sent me Grandmaster Flash. Then he sent me Sequence. Secret gonna funk you right on up. He sent me Secret, then he sent me Spoonie G, then he sent me
Busy Bee.
Treacherous 3.
That's the female.
Yeah, Treacherous 3, Funky 4+1. He just turned out hit records after hit records after hit records. Then we had the first big concert, the first rap concert ever in St. Louis. The first rap concert. That was the Sugar Hill Gang and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5.
Mm-hmm.
I broke all of them. I broke Planet Rock, Soul Southern Force.
This the man right here, y'all.
I broke Gap Band, Barry Rub on Me. I broke Atomic Dog. I broke.
Listen to this.
I broke Curtis Blow.
That resume.
I broke Curtis Blow. All that's in my book. I got a new book out.
Right.
The book is called The Birth of Hip Hop. But you can find it on Barnes & Noble, or you can find it on Amazon. All you got to do is look for the link. It says theGeneAndersonStory.com. That's THE, the GeneAndersonStory.com. And it'll pull you up the link to The Birth of Hip Hop, which I've been so fortunate that they're talking about Darius McCrary. He's going to be my producer.
I met him at the BET Awards.
Yeah, he's a very accomplished
Mr.
actor.
West. I love him when he played Mr. West in that movie.
Yeah, he's a very accomplished actor.
He played the pimp dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite an actor. But anyway, he's doing the documentary and the movie on me, on the book, The Birth of Hip Hop. The book has got so many, it's so many twists and turns in the book because hip hop wasn't just accepted in the dough. They used to say, gee, we're gonna play this one record for you, but we ain't gonna play no more hip hop records after this one.
You the forefront man pushing hip hop.
I'm the first man.
First man, and I've been knowing you, didn't you know that? I feel like I disrespected you, man.
Don't worry about it, man. I love you still the same, James.
I did not know, man. You the man.
You
the Barry Gordy of hip hop.
No, Barry Gordy was a whole nother story.
You can tell that one too.
Yeah, but anyway, I was the very first promotion man, not one of them, but the absolute very first promotion man of hip hop music.
Pooh Man Gene Anderson.
Do
the history.
The Hal Goldman and Skip Gorman and two Jews.
Mm-hmm.
They made it possible for me to be able to do that. But I had no idea that the music was going to grow to be as iconic as it is today. Now it's all hip hop or nothing. And they used to tell me, I remember once a guy named I can't think of his name now. I went to the radio station to get my record played. And the guy said, I'm not going to play no more hip-hop records, man. I said, well, listen, I ain't got nothing but hip-hop records. I said, I got to feed my kid. He says to me, well, that's just too bad. I'm not going to play no hip-hop. So I took my pistol out and laid it on the table.
Oh, gangsters right there, boy. So you can't do the...
I took my pistol out and laid it on the table. I said, you say what? He said, man, okay, I'll play the B-side. I said, well, it's a half a watt in. I said, man, play the record like you're supposed to play. That was Funk You Up. That's it. You right on up. Yeah. So anyway, he called Joe Robinson up and says, Joe, why you see that little crazy MF down here with that pistol swinging, talking about playing your records? Joe said, what did he tell you? He said it's a half a wall. He said, well, he meant it. And hung the phone up on him. Man, my reputation went straight across the United States. Pistol slinging Gene Anderson, Poo Man. You gonna play his records or not?
Yeah, that's how you do it, see? I respect you. That's when a man could be a man.
That was back in the day, though.
I know. You can't do none of that.
But I didn't plan on doing it. It was just a reflex
and you
action.
being a man.
Well,
you told that man I gotta feed my kid.
I gotta feed my kid.
And he said some stupid shit.
Yeah, he said.
Hey, it's where we. What you talking about?
Listen,
Yeah,
so anyway, I went to Chicago with a record on called Breakdance Electric Boogie on a group called West Street Mob. Mm-hmm. And I took it to a guy named Graham Armstrong with WGCI. He says to me, he said, listen, I ain't playing no more rap music. I said, man, you got to play this record. This is going to be the biggest dance craze in the world. He said, man, I'm not going to play it. I took it over to WDON to Purvis Span in Chicago.
Yeah, you remember a name.
And the record took off huge. Next thing, I was at the BRE with Sidney Miller and them in Texas, in Houston, Texas. We was at the awards dinner. I'm sitting there with me and Jackenstein and Stevie Wonder and a bunch of, we all sitting over there. And Jesse Jackson, all of us sitting over there.
Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, we all just sitting over there on our little section. And he says to me, Graham walked over to me and said, Gene Anderson, I got to apologize to you. I said, what you mean? He went in his pocket and pulled out Time magazine. And there's a boy breakdancing on the record, on Time, the cover of Time magazine.
He had to apologize.
He had to apologize.
We gonna end it like that with the live, but y'all stay on, with my actual podcast. We got so much to talk about with Mr. Poo Poo Anderson, but come back next week and we'll show you all that. And make sure y'all get that man's book.
Yeah, just Google the GeneAnswerStory.com and you'll find the birth of hip hop. I got a bunch of pictures in there of me and a bunch of old stars and some new stars and stuff in there. And it's very informative. And you will be helping my kids that I've never had yet.
And he's still planning on having them. He ain't done yet.
I am a long way from done yet. Yeah. We on Big Mouth, Big Money,
Big Mouth, Big Money
Big Money, Big Mouth.
Big money, big money.
Big money, big money.
Big money, big mouth podcast.
Hey!
Get down with it.
As One Promotion.
As One Promotion.
As One.
Sponsored by I Win TV.
Not as two.
Meg's Castle, Pimp Meg, As One Promotions.
PIMP.
PIMP.
Put it in my pocket.
Put it in my pocket. Poo Man Anderson.
And we're out.
And we out.
Hell.
Now y'all stay with us. Now you keep going. We still got a lie, so this is for my. Now we can just get all whatever.
We do.
Hey, I want to thank you.
Whatever. That was what we was recorded, but I'm still live with you, so I'm on the. Did y'all know this man was the pioneer of hip hop? Ain't he so humble? Everybody else talking about they started hip hop. They wasn't the ones breaking the records though.
But you know what? I remember Melly Mel walked up to me one day.
I met him before too. I got a picture.
That's my boy.
He be in LA all the time.
That's my boy. Melly Mel. Flashes, me and Flashes tight, but me and Melly Mel is like that.
Tune in, Mel. I'm representing you.
And Curtis Blow.
Curtis Blow.
That's my baby boy.
And you know them all, man.
Curtis Blow. I broke that record Christmas rap and basketball.
Basketball.
I broke both of them records. I broke Soul Son Sports.
And see, these are all the first rap songs I ever heard.
These are the first of them. They came on later on. Suge and them came on in, and then the rap went to
gangster
Pinky
rap.
and them. But the gangster rap came in through Suge Knight and them. Aubrey Taylor, a guy named Aubrey Taylor, broke those records first. Yeah, Aubrey Taylor did those.
Did you used to know? Did you know Jerry Heller?
No, but I know Suge Knight.
Yeah.
Me and Suge is still tight. He was a gangster. He used to tell me, come on, ride with me. I said, no, that's okay. No,
I ain't fucking with you,
that's okay.
Suge.
No, that's okay. I'll see you later.
And you was right. That's that new type gangster. So I ain't, y'all done new and improved it. I'm gonna stay with the old gangster.
But I love
Old
Suge.
player.
Suge was cool. You know.
People that know him personally always say he cool. Only people that say he wasn't cool is either people that he owed money
We love
or
you
people he
guys.
took money from.
Yeah, but I don't know about his habits and his association. All I know that he was cool with me.
That's all. That's all.
We're
you
out.
say.
We're out. We
His mama
love
used to
you.
like me
Here we
'cause I
go.
used to